Hey everybody, it's PartyElite. Welcome back to some more turn-based tactical action in Menace, where we're about to wrap up this counterinsurgency operation by walking on in to the Lion's Den. I'm going to be honest, I am a little nervous about this mission. Even though it's just a 2-skull difficulty mission, which is technically easier than last session's 3-skull difficulty mission, this one has a little something in it that makes it feel just that little bit more unforgiving. You'll see down over here that the pirates have Frankenstein-together base defense turrets using powerful spaceship weaponry. I noticed this at the end of the previous episode, that there are 2 secondary objectives here: destroy the pirate EMP turret and destroy the pirate MG turret, that make this mission feel just that much scarier. Like I said, it feels a bit more unforgiving. The smallest mistake here could be extremely expensive if we end up exposed to, for example, a machine gun turret that can just rip us apart. So yeah, a little nervous, but only one way to find out how it's going to play out, and that's by diving on in. Folks, on that note, if you've been enjoying watching Menace on the channel, please don't hesitate to let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. And if you're new around these parts, you might want to consider subscribing as well if you're interested in seeing more of Menace, or if you're interested in seeing more strategic and tactical gaming in general. But with that said, let's go ahead and see what we want to do here. I'm thinking, all right, so first things first, Tech is going to take that light chain gun that we acquired at the end of the previous session. The thing about the light chain gun is it's not really going to kill all that frequently or reliably, but it is going to suppress enemy units. You can see at the bottom over here, its rate of fire is 7. Its accuracy is miserable, but accuracy doesn't matter when you're trying to suppress the enemy. Not so much, at least. Being accurate helps, but that's not the primary concern. Now, it's worth noting that things like suppression damage, hit point damage, armor damage, all that stuff is a per round number. So for example, suppression over here, suppression damage is 7. That's each of those 7 shots that get fired when this gun fires does 7 suppression damage, as opposed to, for example, the carbine that does 2 suppression damage per 2 shots every time it fires. So you can see how the light chain gun does quite a bit more. So I want to assign that to Tech for a couple of reasons. One, because I think it'll come in handy, just suppressing the enemy is so powerful. But 2, you might recall that Tech has this unique perk that has a absolutely wonderful name that allows him to use most special weapons without having to deploy. So that saves him quite a few action points that he can use for maneuvering, for firing one more time in a round, and a lot of other stuff. So it's super helpful to give him a special weapon that he can fire without deploying, and I'm pretty sure the light chain gun is one that he can do so with, because you can see especially large weapons will still have to be deployed, and there are some very, very big guns where even Tech has to deploy to use them. The thing, though, is that deploying will still confer other benefits, like the boosted accuracy, better defenses, things like that, so you might still want to deploy despite having this perk, but you have the option not to, right? So I think it's a nice little thing to have there. Otherwise, I'm not going to give anybody any additional promotions. Again, every time you promote somebody and give them an additional perk, you do eat up more supply when you try to deploy them, and I don't think I have room for that, because I do still have to top up Jane's squad here. And as soon as I do that, I end up over my supply limit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually remove some folks from Tech's squad, because what I'm thinking is we're primarily, hopefully, going to be using the light chain gun, and so the squaddy count there doesn't matter. So let's talk a little bit more about that, and again, probably timestamps down below so you can skip around if you don't care. This shouldn't take too long, though. What happens when you assign a special weapon like the light chain gun is that the squad leader no longer carries the regular infantry weapon. So you can see how this says infantry weapon times 4. If I get rid of the special, it says infantry weapon times 5. What that means is 4 of the squaddies and that squad leader are carrying this weapon. Every time I tell them to fire this weapon, there's 5 people firing 2 rounds because of the rate of fire and doing that much times amount of damage output for whatever kind of damage it might be. But by assigning a special weapon, that means there's 1 less infantry weapon in the squad. So if I'm intent on using the special weapon primarily with this squad, then having fewer squaddies isn't a problem, because I don't necessarily care as much about the damage output of this infantry weapon. However, squaddies kind of act like shielding for your squad leader. What that means is a squad that has more squaddies will last longer because there's more individuals that need to die. That squad has more HP, but the last person to die in a squad is always the squad leader. So Darby has 8 times 8 HP because there's 8 squaddies that have 8 HP. And after they die, then there's Darby herself who could die. And again, it's permadeath, so you could lose these folks permanently. Meanwhile, Tech has only 4 times 14, so it still has quite a bit of HP because of his stats and stuff, but 14 HP isn't really all that much. So hopefully that explains some of the decision making over here and highlights more of the game's mechanics and things like that. We do also have these outcast rags, but we don't have the supply available to use them, and all it really gives us is some extra concealment, which I don't think is really necessary for this mission in particular, so we'll ignore that for the time being. And otherwise, start making plans. So we know I'm so nervous about this one, guys. We know that the enemy has 2 turrets. Presumably, this is their base, and those turrets are going to be somewhere along the perimeter. That doesn't help at all. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and move Rewa and Lim, our lovely pairing, off to the side over here, because these little tiles probably represent some kind of obstruction, maybe some forest or something like that. So I'm going to move these guys over here. They'll creep up this way, hopefully set up some like flanking opportunities perhaps. And then these guys... See, I could try and push up this way, use whatever this is for cover, and peek and try and see what's going on. Because if I can help it, I want to avoid these turrets. It'd be nice to get them as secondary objectives, but I don't think I'll be able to. Their buildings, they'll be decently armored. I don't think I have that much armor pen. I guess I could. You know what? I could swap the scrap bomb for the bundle grenade. They are anti-structure, anti-vehicle, armor-piercing. You know what? Okay. Damn, are we going to try this? Maybe. It's a bit more expensive, so what do I get rid of is the question. Maybe, you know what? From Tech, let's go ahead and remove the extra uses of his primary weapon, because again, if we're primarily going to use a light chain gun, then he doesn't need this. We can go unequipped and get us back some of that supply. Alright, good stuff. Good stuff? Good stuff, yeah, okay. Right, back to this, though. Let's not deploy randomly there. Let's go ahead and do what I was saying. So, let's get you guys up over here. I'll swap you out, actually, like that. Not what I meant. There we go. So, they'll creep up. This, again, I'm hoping is cover of some kind. And then we can, yeah, kind of take a peek, maybe draw the enemies towards us, create a bit of a kill box. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Look, there, it's great to make plans, but you know what they say about plans and contact with the enemy, right? Folks, let's dive on into the battlefield.
103rd won't be heard.
I love to see it, man. Every time. I should stop though. All right. First things first. Lim, into your little pickup truck here. Oh, right. And I should mention, you might have noticed already that Rewa's health is not maxed out. You might remember, if you watched the previous episode, that we took just a little bit of damage at the end of that battle. And the thing about vehicle damage is that it carries over from mission to mission in an operation. So, well, I mean, you can see the results of that. This mission has us a bit on the back foot already because Rewa has a significant amount of damage taken already. That's about, what, like 66% HP? So it pays to be cautious. And honestly, last session, I threw caution to the wind. I was just a little too cocky.
What?
And I'm paying the price for it even now. We also got light weapon systems damage. And this was the result, I believe, if I recall correctly, of the same salvo that we took at the end of that last mission. And this increases the chance of our gun jamming, which is not great. Is going to be rough. I'm already nervous about this mission, and there's other factors that are making it even more nerve-wracking. All right, let's creep on up. Leave some action points left over for any shooting that needs to be done at the end of the movement. No such need. Going to continue creeping up then. Again, trying to set up a bit of a flanking situation, right? To try and get up over here, maybe from the side. Keep distance from where I assume the turrets might be. And hope for the best. All right, Darby, let's creep on up. All the way, I think, should be safe, which is, yes, famous last words, but I think we're good.
Enemy movement.
Oh, of course. Oh, and we're in range as well, but it looks like they've already moved. But yes, this looks like this will provide us some decent cover, at least some visibility blocking that we can use to our advantage. So let's go ahead and move on up, Tech.
What?
All right. That was the one unit. Do I want to start creeping in already, or do I want to keep my distance? I guess I could creep a little bit closer. Right? Can I get a little bit closer and at least get some shots off? Maybe. Yep. They're just in range. I could get them suppressed, and Bob's your uncle. Let's go for it. Oh, wow. I did get them suppressed. I was hoping. Now, the reason why they ended up hidden is because when you suppress an enemy unit, they automatically deploy. That's like the their defensive mechanism. They get down on a knee, they're suppressed, and it's a really cool kind of reflection of the benefits, I guess, of them kind of cowering down and hiding. So they technically have slightly higher concealment now because they're technically deployed. They also technically have slightly improved like accuracy and stuff like that, but the negatives of being suppressed to some of those very same stats like accuracy are so high that you're better off suppressing somebody. However, there is a cost to it at times as well. Anyway, Reba, you are done your turn.
Movement.
Oh, there's another one. Ooh. Dang,
103rd
that's kind of cool.
fire.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, they were hiding in the trees there, and concealment actually played in favor of the enemy. That's neat. Oh, I love that kind of stuff. Okay, let's. I don't think we have range. We're not going to have range on these guys. So Lim, you're going to stay in there because I don't want to take a chance of kind of like leaving him exposed. So Darby could return fire, but concealed target not likely to hit. If I move up to here, deploy with 20, leaves us with 54, so I could get some shots in. Still exposed. We're not in cover over there. We're in a bit of cover over here, but I don't know if I'll see them. Worth a shot.
Catching a corner.
We'll see these guys at least. Let's go ahead and deploy. And yeah, if we can draw the enemy into this little kill box thing I was talking about, that'll be great. I can still shoot into the trees over here, right? It's possible the enemy has pulled out of it, but if they are in there, I can still cause damage. I can still cause suppression. However, we have a clear line of sight on these guys. They are suppressed, so they're not going to be top performers right now, but why not try to get them to waver or even, kill a few of them or something. So fire away. Pinned down, got a couple of kills, wavering. Beautiful. Lim, you're not up. Let's go ahead and end Lim's turn, actually, because we know we're not going to move him anywhere. And by ending the turn, we could have maybe revealed another pirate unit or something and made some plans around that. Here's what I'm going to do with Tech. I'm going to go ahead and creep him up to here, right? And then use the light chain gun, which is cheaper to fire. I can't remember if I mentioned that already, but it is cheaper to fire. And I can use that to maybe suppress whatever's in here if it's still in there. If I'm lucky. Now, the thing is, we only have 12 uses of the light chain gun, so I do maybe want to be cautious about just kind of firing away like this, but I think it's worth it. Was that someone dying, or was that a round ricocheting? I'm not sure. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and creep up. To here sounds good to me. Should give us clear vision of both these guys, hopefully. Dang. They must have left. I guess we can't confirm. They must have left. They can't still be in there. Let's pop shots down over here, I suppose. God damn it. I'm telling you, this weapon damage is gonna be a nightmare for us. That malfunction was a result of our light weapon damage. So these guys were suppressed, so the light chain gun did do its job, and that's the value of that kind of behavior. Now Lim can step out, pop some shots. Can you actually step out there? And still have range? Oh, crap. Ah, crap. The guy with the anti-structure weapon is the furthest from the actual structure. But okay, all right, at least we know where it is now, and we're just going to, stay hidden over here. But can we hit these guys with our shotgun? Maybe. We'll pop shots, and we'll duck back into the vehicle, I think. And we spotted these guys as well. Beautiful. Beautiful. Got these guys fleeing. And they're not pinned down, so they might actually leave. Now, they might have taken enough damage to break when they flee, but we'll find out. Do I pull Lim out and leave him out in the open? God, no. The turret's right there. Way too risky. And the turret's got range as well. Ooh. The vehicle's in range, too. I don't know if the machine gun turret is significantly armor-piercing. But let's go ahead and tuck back into the vehicle. And I think what we'll do is we'll try and get Rewa over here. Because it's a decent range to throw that that pack of grenades. I don't know if we'll be able to reach from here to there. But it'd be worth a shot, maybe. Alright, Lib, that's your turn. These guys are dead.
Orders.
Jane. And you. No, you can't. Gotta move 1, 2, 3, 4 up. Let's undeploy, because I don't want to pin these guys down, right? If I can get them to flee and break, that'd be great. But I shouldn't really rely on that, to be perfectly honest. Let's creep Darby up to here. We'll get into cover and maybe even deploy, actually. I maybe should have promoted Darby. I maybe should have promoted Darby. And what's our range on this chain gun? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Creep you up to here. Hope a grenade doesn't, finish us off, and that's your turn done. I do want to try and finish this in 10 rounds, but I'm not gonna risk lives in order to get that done.
Got visual on targets.
Okay, that wasn't too bad. Took a little bit of chip damage to the armor, very little bit, so that's good. The accuracy was pretty poor as well, so that's good. Cannot tell if these guys actually fled or not, but what we'll go ahead and do is... Get Rewa up to here. Yeah, get Rewa up to here. It was a little risky. Destroy a bunch of potential cover. And let's go ahead and open fire over here. And then Lim should be able to pop out and pop shots on these guys. So it's a bit more efficient, because Lim might not be able to reach those guys. So fire away up there. Wow. Wow. that was really good. Can we rotate? We cannot rotate. Much closer to this thing now. A little nervous. But maybe we'll be fine. Oh, crap. Ooh. Well, we're fine. No! Damn! Huskow died or got hit last time too. This is the second time they've gone down. They recovered last time, but now they got down again. Oh no. Lim, let's go ahead and pop you out. Where? Let's pop you out here, and again, hopefully we'll have range. I think so. They've used their turn already, unfortunately, but yeah, let's go ahead and cause some damage there. And let's just check ranges here. Gotta get a lot closer. I mean, I knew I would, but I just want to see how much closer. Holy crap, I swear to God, that shotgun, man. Like, at that point, I might as well just finish these guys off and duck back into the vehicle. I can. There you have it, done. And again, the actual objective is to eliminate 80% of all enemy forces, so we're halfway through already. We don't actually have to deal with the turrets or anything. That's just something I would like to do as a nice extra, but again, not at the cost of lives. Darby, let's go ahead and stand up. Creep you up to there. And pop shots. I can even deploy and pop shots, actually, so let's go ahead and do that. Might as well, right? Might as well get the extra benefits of deploying when we can afford it.
Yes. Thanks.
That was pretty good, too. Took a bit of armor damage. Took a bit more than last time, that's for sure, but that's pretty good. I almost want to... No, I don't think I can flank this thing. There's no point anyway. We can rotate on a dime. Tech, what to do with you, buddy? Could get you up to there. Looks like we'll be out of its line of sight. Yep. And let's deploy. Play it safe. Alright, that's your turn.
What?
How do I want to play this? It's so risky trying to destroy this thing, but God, that would be nice though, wouldn't it? Because I can get Rewa up to here. Lim could step out, toss his grenade, hop back in, but this vehicle will be way out in the open. Might be worth it. These guys are creeping up as well, but hopefully Darby can open shots if they come over that way. Yeah, you know what? What's life without risks, right? Let's do it.
Acknowledged.
Part of me was wondering if I should maybe move less and fire away with Rewa as well, but that's not an armor-piercing weapon. I like the concealment. God damn it. Lost another one. I like the concealment. That's twice I've been gotten by it. That's actually, you know what? That's more than I would have expected. That's 3 more times than I would have expected. But all right, let's go ahead and do our little thing here before the turret can fire. Maybe. Dear God, please work. Please work as intended. Again, there is still a chance of this thing missing. There is still a chance of it being tossed wide. Sorry. Here goes nothing. That's it? What? What? No. Alright. It's okay. Because the thing is, this thing had just a little bit more armor than we had armor penetration, which means that there's a chance of armor penetration. But now, even though the tooltip over here shows the maximum armor, we can see the armor on the little health bar here. That should be fully penetratable. And I can toss and get back into the vehicle and hopefully survive this situation. God damn. This should penetrate. Holy. All right. Now, we only have one of these left. So if I do want to take on the EMP turret as well, which I don't think I've seen yet, I might be in a bit of trouble. But let's go ahead and get Lim back in here. This thing has suffered some weapon systems destroyed. Oh, beautiful. I saw the red and I was like, okay, so that's a major status effect. I forget what they're called for vehicles and stuff. The game has a specific term for them. But that's great. Okay, that's great. Let's go ahead and fire with the light chain gun up over here. Oh, might have killed somebody there, actually. Thought I heard someone scream. And that's the sound of, I believe, pinned down and somebody dying. I'm like, do I fire again? Because we only have so many uses. That's my only hesitation. Let's use a regular carbine now. Oh, I think we killed somebody else. That's great. Oh, crap. We've been flanked. What is going on?
We've got movement.
What is going on? Yo, these guys are... What? Okay. Fortunately, they've left themselves out in the open. They maybe couldn't have... Maybe they weren't able to see Darby when they like kind of took on their move, and now they left themselves out in the open against one of my most accurate shooters. So let's get the job done.
Everything suddenly sucks.
But the flank was that could have gone horribly wrong for me. It's going horribly wrong for them instead, but it could have gone horribly wrong for me. Okay, that's your turn done, Darby, I think. Yeah, not worried about being exposed there anymore.
Let me have
Oh.
them.
Well, there's the other turret. I didn't see exactly where that came from, but it's somewhere up over here, right? That was the EMP turret, and EMPs can disable vehicles. And that's why Rewa cannot move this turn. But Lim can. Lim can. So he's gonna stick his neck out. And pop shots. Again, just chipping away at the armor, because our armor penetration on the shotgun is 8%. So we only have a chance of getting through the armor until the armor is actually less than 8, which we're not even close to. However, I'm going to keep this thing set aside in case we do decide we want to take on the EMP turret. So we're going to fire away with the shotgun once more and then tuck back into the vehicle. Damn, that time we barely even did armor damage. That's okay. Back into the vehicle. Tech. If I believe the weapon system is truly destroyed, which I do, I'm going to go ahead and creep up to here. Or wait. I mean, Darby can take care of those guys. Yeah, let's let Darby take care of those guys. We'll creep up to here. Light chain gun, how much armor? Penetration, 26%. 25%. Alright, so light chain gun over here. Alright. Oh, that looked cool as hell. Hot damn. Oh my goodness. Okay, light chain gun back up over here in case they're still around. And that sounded like another pinned sound cue there, so I'm glad I did that. Go ahead and stay put.
Let's do this.
A little worried about Rewa, still exposed to that EMP turret. Jane, what to do with you? Let's go ahead and pop shots down over here. Finish these guys off, hopefully. Beautiful.
I knew you could do it, Major.
Mission accomplished. Oh, but the temptation to chase that EMP turret. So damn high. Let me at least get eyes on it, right? We still have room. We still have room for the mission, right, to complete in these rounds. So let me at least get eyes on it. Where to, Rewo? If we think it's somewhere up there, get a bit of distance. Maybe up there. Looks like that's where I'd put my my turret. Now again, there's still enemy units around, right? It's only 80% of enemy units killed. Let's go ahead and rotate the vehicle. Actually stay put here, because then Lim can step out and see if there's anything to see. Yeah. I should leave. I should leave. We'll take a peek and then we'll leave. Oh, it's so tempting, though. It's so tempting. Let's go ahead and creep on up to here. There they are. Deploy and then pop shots. Try and finish these guys off. Oh, damn, I did my math wrong. That's what happens when you stop paying full attention. Let's go ahead and get the light chain gun in there first. Regular shots now. Could have maybe deployed. Sure, I'll take that. That could get in there. See how much damage I do. I didn't check. I should have checked how much armor it had, actually. Cost 40 to throw. Need to get 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Wow, I can't actually get in there and toss the grenade. Ah, screw it. Let's try, folks. Come on. How could I say no? If I did my math right and my geometry right. Yep. Let's try it. Armor of 110, so it's not going to finish it off, but it will reduce the armor significantly. And then I could take this thing out. Could I do it in 2 rounds, though, is the thing? Well, yeah. Probably not. Oh, damn. Got lucky with the penetration, and with its optics damaged, it must have had an accuracy debuff, which meant that Rewa didn't take that hit. Okay, alright. Now we're talking. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and have Jane try and finish these guys off. Beautiful. Go ahead and stand up. And let's start making our way over. Tech, get as close as you can get, because that light chain gun will be able to finish the job, but I just got to get there quickly enough. Alright. Do I even want to try with a shotgun? I could get lucky. I could get lucky. How far away are we? Not that far away. Could work from over here. Let's try it. Ah. Because again, now the armor is not damaged, it's the HP that's damaged, so I still have to get through the armor. Let's fall back just in case. I'm if we're doing it, right? At least we're trying. And of course the gun malfunctions. Of course the gun malfunctions. All right, let's turn our facing. So that's our front. Time for the shotgun. Let's go. I should have done the shotgun first before the chain gun. Because that's like 25 now. Pull you back, buddy. Driver, let's get you up. And we're out of the chain gun too. But the carbine is 25 armor pen, right? Big fire. Beautiful. Okay. There's that big fire causing a ton of damage. And, you know, I think Lim, having been the one that that caused so much damage and, like, you know, walked right up to this thing with a... walked up to both of these things with a pack of grenades, I think he should get the honors if he can. The armor pad, man. There it is. There it is. Got it. Beautiful. That's the mission done in full. I'm so pleased. I'm glad we did that. I'm glad we chased that. I'm glad we chased that. 5 out of 5 secondary objectives completed. Got a little multiplier for the difficulty as well. And general mission success. Beautiful. What do we got over here? Ooh. Another vehicle weapon. Heavy machine gun. Oh, right. Off the the machine gun turret, I guess. Right. Fair enough. Pirate pipe gun. We've got plenty of those to get rid of. Another bundle grenade. We got quite a few scrap bombs, actually, and some more outcast rags, which, again, they just bolster concealment a little bit compared to the armor we have right now, so not all that impressive, but it is something. Now, this is the operation completed. So these two strategic assets that we have are no longer, well, so we got lucky this time. This time, the strategic assets were permanent strategic assets. That +1 civilian trading good, we still hold on to if we want to. And the random pirate faction item, we're still holding on to as well. However, many strategic assets only last for the duration of the operation. It could be like, oh, you've got this thing now which prevents the enemy from repairing their vehicles, so their vehicles always start with a such and such debuff. Or, oh, you've got this thing that gives you, you know, plus 2 intel, let's say, for the rest of the operation. So you have that intel for the operation, but the moment you're done the operation, you move to a different one, you no longer have that advantage. So just wanted to highlight that, but then I realized we got lucky that both of our strategic assets this time around actually had more permanent rewards. All right, good stuff. All done here. Still no temporary status effects. Hey, that's wild. I get a lot of them are like when one individual gets a lot of kills, they'll get something, and then having that in 2 back-to-back missions is a huge thing. Losing a squad leader has stuff. So it's just funny to me that I guess I haven't managed to trigger one just quite yet. Looks like we've lost Husko, and Took Half. Looks like took all. Ooh, Took Half sounds like a gruesome way to go. Just one made it though. That's not their life count, at least. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned, but you can rename squaddies if you want to and have that extra personal connection. All right, good stuff all around. That was fun. I'm glad we went for the tarts. And there's the operation completed. 4-star rating. I don't think I've ever got a 5-star rating in all my time playing. I gotta figure out why. I guess you have to do primary and secondary objectives for every mission all the way through. That would be it, because the second mission we didn't do all of our secondary objectives, if I'm not mistaken. That must be it. Nonetheless, with the operation completed, we've gained a lot of trust with the backbone, which we'll talk about in just a moment's time. Our 4-star rating determines our rewards, which is 84 OCI components. Again, that's up over here. These will get added on. These are what we use to actually upgrade the ship and gain access to more capabilities and things like that. And 10 authority. We haven't talked about authority yet, I don't think, but that's this resource over here. And it is a interesting one, because maybe we have talked about it, but I'll talk about it again. The more authority we have, the higher our squads' discipline is. And discipline is what helps them avoid suppression, recover from suppression, helps their morale checks, things like that. So when we have 100 authority, we get plus 20 to discipline for all of our squads. However, you need to spend authority to hire new squad leaders for certain events. There's all kinds of stuff where you have to kind of spend authority, and it's all represent. It's called authority, so you can imagine what it represents. So there's this kind of trade-off where you're like, well, I need that discipline right now, or well, I really need another squad leader right now, and you can kind of balance that out. So that's authority. And then our final reward is actually a choice of 2 things, and these are a random set always. This time our choices are either the anti-material rifle Crocodile. Are you for real? How could I be so lucky? Or the Tripod Griffin Dynamics Rotary Barrel Machine Gun. This is one of those heavy special weapons that even tech has to deploy to use. Oh man. So you can see the armor penetration on this thing, right? And you can see the rate of fire. And you can see the hit point. I mean, you can see everything. But I'm highlighting it. My goodness, this thing's beautiful. This thing's a lot of fun. But the Crocodile is also very fun. I mean, look at that armor damage. Look at that hit point damage. Rate of fire is very, very low. Elements hit also very, very low. It can only hit... it can only kill 1 enemy every time it fires a salvo. That's typically what you'll see. I'm trying to think of a weapon that comes to mind where it's more than that. But the rate of fire being low is the real trade-off in a way. I mean, but Darby with this though, right? A large caliber anti-material rifle developed by Gator Corner and dubbed Crocodile as part of their hard target interdiction program. What a name. Hard target interdiction. I love the word interdict. Yeah, let's go with this. Let's give it to Darby. I think she'll have some fun with it. Yeah.
Already mingling with the locals, are we? I am sure your secretary will advise you otherwise. But take it from me. Be careful who you help out there, General Crozier. Sorry. Major... Whoever you are. End of line.
Like this guy. He's so smarmy. He's so smarmy.
Major, we are not welcome in the way back. However, the Impetus is easily the fastest ship in the system. We have no political allegiances, and our Marines are an elite fighting force. Whether they like us or not, a faction refusing our assistance leaves them with the possibility that a more cooperative competitor might grow stronger. In time, all of these factions will be asking us for help lest they want to be left in the dust. As for Field Marshal Zama, do we need an intelligence report for someone who speaks to us so unintelligently? Let us resume the mission, Major, and let our results speak for themselves.
So you can start to see some of the tension that's brewing and some of the narrative kind of like stakes that are at play. But you can also see a flashing yellow button. So, because we gained so much trust with the backbone through that operation, we've now reached trust level 1. And in fact, we're about a third of the way through to trust level 2. Having gained trust level 1, we've unlocked one of these slots in which we can insert one of these OCI upgrades. Now, here's the thing though, right? If we click show info, you can see that there's a bunch of things that might randomly show up as an option. Now we've got our option. Supply drop. Gain the off-map ability supply drop, which drops a crate of ammunition to refill special weapons and accessories. Not bad. Medevac, pretty self-explanatory, I think. Gain the off-map ability Medevac, which rescues a downed squad leader, because otherwise, if a squad leader is downed, you have to physically get close to them, use an action, and you only have, I believe it's always 4 turns to do so. So it can get pretty harrowing, and you can very easily lose that squad leader. So the way permadeath works is, again, squaddies get eliminated, or if a vehicle gets destroyed, squaddies get eliminated, and then the squad leader gets killed. Or if a vehicle gets destroyed, the squad leader is killed. Or rather, they're down but not out, I should say, for 4 turns. If you get to them and you manage to revive them, they're okay, in a manner of speaking. They take a lot of negative status effects that last a very long time. Pretty much takes them out of the fight for some time, but at least they're alive. If you don't get to them on time, or if you complete the mission and leave the mission even though they're down but not out, well, you left them behind, and they die. They're dead, gone. And so a medevac can be very handy when you're not able to get to them in time and you want to get them out. And then DCRAC, Digital Combat Recording and Analysis Center. Plus 20% increase to all earned promotion points. Well, that's not bad. So here's the thing, though. I can pick one of these freely. However, to actually have access to them, I then have to go to the OCI screen, go to the appropriate classification of OCI, and then spend our OCI components to install it. So it's not like, oh, cool, I've got it now. You have to gain the trust, pick the one you like, and then you have to actually pay to install it. Yeah. Pretty good stuff. Pretty pleased with how that operation went. We have a choice of 2 operations now. These are the same as the ones we could have chosen from when we began the one on the backbone. As you can see, there are timers. Operations only are around for so long, and the timer ticks per operation that gets completed or aborted or failed. So you do an operation, you've moved forward by a tick, is basically how it goes. Both of the operations in front of us are now alien-related operations, I guess, is the way to put it. This is an alien infestation. This is an alien infestation as well. They'll obviously be procedurally generated operations, slightly different from each other. This one's on a snow biome, and this one is on a barren desert. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do. It does also depend on which faction I want to buddy up with a bit more, but that's all decision-making for me to have between sessions, because this is what we're going to call this one. I'm going to think about which one I want to go with, and then we'll kick off the next episode tomorrow, and hopefully you'll be there. Folks, if you've been enjoying this series, please don't hesitate to let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. As always, it makes a very big difference in letting me know what people are enjoying, what I should do more of, less of, things like that. The feedback's always very helpful. I should mention really quickly that I am going to be recording a couple of episodes back to back because I'm going to be away from my desktop this weekend, and I want to make sure you have daily episodes as promised. So I'm going to be recording a couple of episodes back to back. So if you're wondering why isn't he responding to the comment I left, it's possible because, or it's possibly / most likely because that comment happened after I recorded this video. But that's just for the next handful of episodes. Either way, folks, I hope you had a good time. If you're new around these parts, you might want to consider subscribing for more Menace in your life. But otherwise, as always, a massive thanks goes out to all the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.